Hello and welcome back, and we'll be continuing our playthrough of Factorio. So what I'm waiting for now, how long is this? 75. I was gonna redo this. So, oh, let's do this one first, then that, then that. Then we'll get these guys back on track. I just wanted to hurry up and do the oil processing. I figured like it's gonna be a little bit of time, excuse me, before those other things get set up. So I'm going to get advanced oil processing set up so I can jump into my oil processing facility and turn all those to advanced oil processing. And that, because right now I'm kind of, I mean, I ran out of petroleum. So to me, that tells me that, yeah, it's just draining super quick. So with advanced oil processing, I can really make a dent or increase it dramatically. All right. Now that we have advanced oil processing, this is the light crackers. This will crack light into petroleum. Now they have nothing to do because there's no light oil. Okay, so let's convert this guy into advanced. As you can see, it works. I want to make sure that I have this set up right. Okay, so it looks like that is definitely receiving heavy oil, and it's outputting for sure into light oil. So this is definitely the heavy oil to light oil crack. You don't want to mix these things. If you screw up, it just makes issues. This is also a crack from heavy to light. I usually unconnect this because I think it. Oh, so I normally unconnect this because it creates some issues in that it drains all of the heavy oil and creates a ton of light oil, which is normally what you want. But the issue is it starves this guy from creating lubricant, which I can't do right now. But I do want to put that in place semi-shortly. All right, let's get these guys set up for advance. There we go. So now we're going to be producing a lot of heavy oil and we're producing a lot of light oil. And then we'll be converting or cracking the heavy oil into light oil, additional light oil. So now we have light oil coming in from two different places, from the heavy, from cracking heavy, and from production in advanced. And this will produce a lot more petroleum on a regular basis. Yeah. So these guys are now going full tilt. The crude should be fine. So I think we're going to be okay. But even so, like these guys aren't. We're still a little have a small bit of a deficit in our rate of production of light oil. Which is partly why I think this guy had like a speed module in it to produce more more of this, because this will get backed up pretty quick. So right now we have a net gain of heavy oil, maybe. Yeah, looks like it's, yeah, we're definitely have a net gain there. So if this guy were going, we would have a net negative, and then we would drain it completely, and then we would have nothing for lubricant. I want lubricant, so I'm going to just keep it on just the one heavy oil cracker. And that should be okay. The next thing is, I want to make sure I've got enough power. I think we're all good, because sometimes this, I have to increase this rate. I think if I have everything else going, it might just barely hit there. We'll see. I think we're okay. So we have plenty of water, plenty of crude is being pumped in. I don't foresee an issue with that. These guys will eventually overtake. There'll be some backup. So these guys will start to get into a net positive. It takes a while though, but they'll eventually get there. And when that happens, then there'll be an overabundance of light oil, and these guys will just be continuously going, and we should be pretty good. So yeah, we got a lot more petroleum here, so we're all good there. We're all good there. We're very good on that. Looks like we're continuing to do lab stuff. Where is my purple? Did I already do that? Oh, I think I did. I got that. Purple. Landfill. Okay, so it looks like we're ready to go. So I'm going to set the purple up, and I'm going to bring a line of that over, and then immediately dump it across the lanes and into the facility, to the research facility. These guys were that. And this was purple. There we go. Okay, so he's expecting rails, electric furnaces, and productivity modules. Productivity modules will be getting that. And they'll be dumping directly into this. That's good. These guys, where are they dumping? Dumping here, which goes to here, which gets picked up onto that. Does this guy have everything he needs? He needs reds, which he'll get from there. He needs stone and steel, which he will get from there. Okay, so that should be good. This guy is going to be putting rails there, which will get picked up there. Make sure. Yep, rails and furnaces go on the same thing and get picked up. Okay. This guy is going to be getting stone and iron. Is that correct? Wait, yeah, steel. Okay, so this guy's picking up the rods from here and dumping out to either side there. Okay. Honestly, I think we're good. So we're gonna watch it go through. I just didn't. I'm always I like to double check, only because this is a new version and they may have changed the recipe, and so this may be old. So like the blue thing I had, it was calling for solid fuel, which had changed to sulfur. So my design was old and outdated, and I wanted to make sure before you let these lines saturate everything, and then it's a pain to undo. I wanted to make sure that everything was getting what it needed. So we're just missing a productivity module. So as soon as, if this one goes, well, we're producing it, I'm pretty sure it's going to transfer. There we go. So it's now producing, and I have no reason to believe that it will not work. And hopefully, yeah, we should be backed up. So this is good. This is a good thing to have, right? So now we already have one on deck and ready to go. So the production down line is going to be backing up so that these things just work as fast as they can. Or they're not inhibited by waiting on something else that's coming in. All right. I have to figure out how I'm supposed to do. There's nothing else being put on here, so I should be able to go straight across. Just like that. There we go. Done. So now that guy's set up and ready to go. And then I will be producing yellow at some point and bringing him up and then running him across here and dumping directly into this. So normally what I would do is I would also have military. So military and yellow would kind of combine together and go straight on this line. But because I'm not doing any, there's no reason to run out any military, I'm not going to worry about military because I don't have any enemies, so I'm not going to worry about it. So these guys will all get pushed in. I mean, I'll have a excuse me. I can just run the yellow line straight into here, and he'll run across here, and I'll probably circle it back up and run across here, and that gives both lanes, both arrays, what they need. And then white science can come in here and down. I'm not gonna really worry about white science, to be honest, because I mean this playthrough ends when you send off your first rocket, and that's when you would get white science from sending off a rocket, which is not really. I mean, white science is obviously you need if you were looking to continue on in the game. Obviously, you'd want white science because all the later things require it. The thing with white science, though, is that like the only things that require it are usually recipes that are looking to improve on a previous version. Like artillery shell, again, is a military thing. I don't care about it, but like, let me think here. One of these guys. So productivity 2, 3. So when you get down into the infinites, it requires white science. And when I say infinite, it just means that you can continue improving that aspect of your research indefinitely. Now, of course, it's diminishing returns. I want to say it's a geometric sequence. So it curves up and then flattens, becomes asymptotic. It will continue increasing little by little. Ever decreasing amounts are added to your the productivity of the mining drills. But it will never reach, I guess, like constant, right? So when the productivity is like as it's mining, a secondary bar will run across and will fill up, and when it fills up, you get an additional piece of ore that gets mined. And that bar fills up faster and faster and faster the more productive it gets. So right here. So every time as you're producing one ore, this little yellow bar here, bonus production, fills up. And when it reaches 100%, you'll get an additional ore. So we'll just watch that go. Boom, additional ore and another ore from that. So in that one instant, I got like 2 ores. So as you increase the productivity rate, this bar fills up faster and faster, and you get to a point where it's like like that. But what you don't want to have happen is if it were to sit there and like be constantly at 100%, in which case it'll just be like shooting out. Like this then becomes nothing. You're just a constant stream of ores coming out, and none of it's coming off of that. So they avoid that by making it asymptotic. So you keep getting fractionally smaller and smaller as you approach the 100%. You can't have 100% efficiency. That's technically impossible, according to the thermodynamics. I'm actually going to start in on this because the braking system is actually nice for fuel efficiency. Get 2 of those. How much is this? 200. Let me get 1. Okay, I want that for sure. I definitely want that. I can't get the next one. I want the higher braking system. Um, this is nice to have. Um, it, Honestly, I'm not going to get this one. I might if I'm just like out of things to research because the coal liquefaction, I've yet to find like a good design for that. I also haven't really been looking. I had one that's like completely self-contained. You had to seed it with some heavy oil and then it would just run indefinitely and produce um, everything. I think the only inputs were coal, right? So this thing, you give it coal. Like I had to give it water, and I had to seed it with heavy oil, and then I had to feed it coal, and it will turn 10 coal into heavy oil, light oil, and petroleum gas. Um, it's honestly pretty good, like in terms of efficiency. It's what you want. It's more of a thing for like later. I'll explain that in just a second. Want lubricant? I don't care about lasers. I think I'll increase the stack thing. This has an added benefit when you get further down. Non-stack inserters actually can benefit. So, the reason why oil product production needs to become more efficient is because of these things. This is, well, I want to say it's a finite resource. It's actually not. So what these things do is they will yield, I don't understand why they call it 462% yield, but these actually are finite in that they will disappear. Not just no, the tile itself will not disappear. Um, but well, I'll go to one of the pump jacks. I don't know why they call them pump jacks. I mean, I guess that's technically true, but oil derricks are probably a better term. So this guy has, doesn't tell you. Well, so these guys are pulling oil out of these tiles, right? So these tiles will eventually stop yielding. They will go down to like 1%, or something like that, like some really small number. And in which case, like the oil derrick can no longer really effectively pull anything out of it anymore. Um, and so the gambit there then becomes increasing the productivity of the oil derrick. I think it's because this is full. Why did it stop? They all stopped. Oh, they must be full. So eventually these guys they'll not stop, but the rate. So right now it's 80.2, I think, yeah, 90.4. Okay, so the yield percentage determines how much per second these oil derricks can do. At some point it goes down to like 1 per second or something like that. I think it's 1 per second, at which point it's kind of like, yikes. They become practically worthless. But if you have increased their bonus production, the mining production rate, and you have productivity modules in here, then they'll actually just from the sheer bonus production itself, they'll produce a little bit more or a decent amount more. And so they'll continue running indefinitely, pulling little bits of oil out of the ground. So you get to a point where your factory consumption rate is higher than what your oil derricks can pull out of the ground because you've exhausted most of your oil fields. But coal is always a fairly rich resource. You will always have a ton of coal. You can keep expanding indefinitely out in the map and pulling in new patches of coal. And so coal liquefaction allows you to actually make use of that because water is an infinite resource, so you can always produce steam. The coal is used to produce the steam in the boilers, and it's consumed um, along with your seeded heavy oil because you take 25 heavy oil and you produce 90, so you can run 25 back into the system, so that becomes self-sustaining. So really, it's just a matter of pulling in coal. And turning 10 coal into 90 heavy, 20 light, and 10 petroleum. So that's why you need that efficiency because eventually these oil fields will have exhausted. I mean, you can always keep expanding out, but that becomes tedious to do, and you want to maximize what you already have in your infrastructure. In coal liquefaction, you always end up with a ton more coal than you absolutely ever need. Okay, it looks like, oh, that's because of the purple. Because I'm not producing enough purple. I think that's good enough. So now we have to sort out our yellow. This one's a tough one. So, as I talked about before, it looks like it requires batteries, circuits, iron, steel, guessing a lubricant, requires lubricant because those are electrical engines. And then iron, plastic, oh no, steel, plastic, and copper. Oh boy, this is a tough one. Well, also the good thing is, and so this design's kind of messed up because it didn't include those, which are the actual yellow producing, and this produces very little yellows. It is tileable, so the big thing here is batteries and the blue circuits. Okay, so both blue circuits and batteries require sulfuric acid. So in order to, I need to create sulfuric acid here. Um, you know what I could? Well, no. I need to create sulfuric acid here, um, and then pump it up here to create batteries. Pump it up further to create the blue circuits, and then everything else comes up here to create the rest. Now, let me double check. So, where's batteries? Do I not have batteries? Substation. Got that on deck. Nope, that's the personal battery port. Full battery. Do I already have it? Surely not. Didn't remember picking it up. This is the personal battery. Requires batteries. So where are the batteries? I must have already gotten them. I'm just not seeing them. Oh, here they are. This definitely requires sulfuric acid. Hold on, let's double check the recipe here. So this is processing units, flying frames, and low density structures. That makes sense. We confirmed that. The robotic frames. Where's the robotic frames? I need this. Well, let's put it in there. Let's look at robotic frames. What's the pre-core? Okay, here we go. This is what I need. Okay, I gotta get that first. Steel, battery, electric engines, and electronic circuits. And this guy requires electric circuit, green circuits, engines, and lubricant. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we're good. So I think that recipe is gonna work. But we have to prep. Excuse me. Um, I have not that. Let's look at what I've got in terms of, here we go. These guys. Now I need something to create sulfuric acid. Um, and I believe I could maybe even use what I have before. this takes sulfur, water, and iron. So that is essentially this design, right? So I can put sulfur and iron on the same line and run it out. Now, except I'm not exporting a product. I may just redesign this a little differently, because it can make it a little bit tighter. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Because something else I want to do is I'm going to put a fluid provider somewhere over here. Right there. Now that will inhibit something else. I'll probably put a fluid provider down here. I don't know. I can't put it there. I could. I'd have to run. Nope. It will conflict with that. So I'd have to run a fluid provider out here, which will conflict with that. So I can run a fluid provider right here. And yeah, I'll put it out there. And I'll just run sulfuric acid line right through here. Because this is going to produce a decent amount of sulfuric acid, and I want the option to... Actually, I should put a fluid requester. The provider can go way up there. If I'm going to run something a long ways, it might as well be way up there. It's going to be... I could run a T line and go out that way. Same with that one. Okay, we should be good. All right, so let's do a little bit of designing here, and so first things first, it'll be that. I have to stagger them because I'm going to be taking in some stuff here. Right, just like that. Okay. Are you kidding me with this? There we go, and then that way I can run my line just like that. Okay. Right. And so this will pump out this way. And what I'll probably do is I'll have something like that. There. Well, actually not bad. I'll stagger them like that. Okay, let's get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Yikes. Okay, I need to get more iron. There, and then we'll use that. And get more of that. Perfect. Yes. I definitely over-prepared, or did I? Did I create more than I needed? One, two, three, four. Ah! Where'd it go? Did I just see it? Oh, it keeps like offsetting. There we go. Did I already create the... It did. Okay. This is going to produce a lot of sulfuric acid. Yep. Definitely a lot. One, two, three. And I might be able to... Right. The trick here is going to be also getting this guy. Actually, what I want is to go down one more, right? Because he's going to angle up and go across. Right. You gotta be kidding me. One, two, three, one, two, three, three. All right, thanks for joining me on this episode of the Factorio playthrough. I really hope that you will join me in the next one and just kind of follow my progression on the game. Thanks.